Welcome to Analytics Mastery Academy. My name is Kunal. Welcome to this series on marketing analytics. Over the next 7 videos, we are going to build a practical working knowledge of the three most important ideas in modern marketing: funnels, attribution, and A/B testing. By the end of this series, you will be able to look at a marketing report and ask sharper questions, and more importantly, know how to answer them yourself. But every strong analytics practice starts with fundamentals. So in this first video, we are laying the foundation. Everything else will build on top of that. Here is where we are headed. Today is topic 1, the foundation. From there, we move into the marketing funnel, then attribution modeling, and finally A/B testing. The discipline that lets you prove, not just guess, what's working actually, right? You don't need to memorize this roadmap. Just know that everything we cover today sets up the concepts in topic through to topic 7. Let's start with a definition. Marketing analytics is the practice of measuring, managing, and analyzing marketing performance to maximize effectiveness and optimize return on investment. In plain terms, it's how you turn raw campaign data like clicks, impression, conversions, spend into decisions your team can actually act on. Notice the three verbs in the definition. Because they form a cycle, you will see repeated throughout this series. Measure, analyze, optimize. You measure what's happening, you analyze why it is happening, and you optimize based on what you learn. Then the cycle repeats. So why does this matter to you practically, right? Three numbers worth remembering. Data-driven marketing teams report 3 to 5 times higher return on investment compared to the teams operating on intuition alone. Organizations that properly track channel performance typically eliminate 30 to 40% of wasted budget. Money that was going toward channel that simply weren't working. And decision cycles run roughly twice as fast when a team is arguing over metrics instead of opinions. The last point is worth sitting with. A lot of value analytics isn't just about finding more revenue, it's about ending unproductive debates faster. Before we get into specific metrics, I want to talk about mindset because the tools only work if the thinking behind them is sound. Three habits separate analytics driven marketers from everyone else. First, ask why and not just what. A metric moving up and down is a symptom, but it's not the full story. Before you react to a number, dig into what's actually causing that number. Second, trust your data over opinion. This one can be uncomfortable, especially when the opinion belongs to someone who is senior. But the discipline is the same regardless of who is in the room. Check the instinct against the evidence. Third, demand evidence for claims. If someone tells you a campaign worked great, that phrase needs a number attached before it becomes something you can actually act on. Let's get concrete. We will move through 3 tiers of metrics, starting at the top of the funnel: reach and awareness. These metrics answer one question: are we being seen? Impressions are the total number of times your content was displayed. Reach is the number of unique people actually who saw it, not the same as impressions, since one person can generate multiple impressions. And share of voice measures your visibility relative to competition in your category. Here is what to watch out, and it's important one. Reach and impressions look impressive on a slide, but they rarely pay bills on their own. Use them to diagnose visibility, not to prove your success. We'll come back to this exact point later when we talk about vanity metrics. The next tier is engagement. whether the people who saw your content actually interacted with it. Click through rate or CTR is the classic interest signal. Clicks divided by impressions. Engagement rate captures likes, comments, and shares relative to reach most relevant on social platforms. And time on page or bounce rate tells you whether visitors who land on your site actually explore it or they just leave immediately. Engagement metrics are meaningful step up from pure reach. They tell you someone did something, but they still don't tell you whether that something translated into business value or not. That's the next tier. This is where marketing analytics earns its keep. The metrics that connect activity directly to business results. Conversion rate is conversions divided by visitors, the percentage of people who took the action you wanted. Customer acquisition cost or CAC is the total spend divided by new customers acquired. Return on ad spend or ROAS is the revenue generated divided by amount spent on ads. And customer lifetime value or LTV estimates total revenue you can expect from a customer over the full relationship, not just their first purchase. If you remember only four metrics from this entire video, make these four. They are the ones that translate directly into conversations with finance and leadership. Now, the single most important discipline in this entire field, correlation versus causation. Correlation means two metrics move together. That's it, nothing more. It does not tell you whether one caused the other or whether some third factor is driving both. The classic example is ice cream sales and sunscreen sales rise together every year. Ice cream doesn't cause sunscreen purchases. Summer causes both of them. Causation means one factor directly produces the change in another. And proving that requires controlled comparison. That's exactly what A/B testing is, which we will cover in depth in topic 6. Keep this distinction in your back pocket. It will save you from very expensive mistakes. Let's make this concrete with a scenario you will likely recognize. Step 1, your data shows retargeted users convert at 8% compared to 2% for new visitors. Step 2, the easy and wrong. The conclusion is retargeting caused a 4 times lift. Step 3, now here is the catch. Retargeted users already showed intent. They visited your site once before you ever served them an ad. That pre-existing intent, not the ad itself, may explain most of the gap. Step 4, the rigorous approach is to run a holdout group. People who match the retargeting audience but see no retargeting ads and compare conversion rates directly. Only then you can isolate what the ads actually contributed. This exact pattern shows up across almost every channel. Keep it in mind as we move into attribution modeling later in this series. Let's talk about tools because we will go deeper on specific platforms later in the series. You don't need every tool from day one, but you should know what each layer is for, right? Data collection tools, GA4, Metapixel, CRM systems, they capture the raw user behavior. Analysis and reporting tools like Excel, SQL, dashboards, they turn raw data into readable trends. Visualization and BI tools like Power BI or Tableau, they help you share insights across the organization. And of course, testing platforms like Optimizely, GA4 experiments, they let you run controlled tests we just discussed. Think of these as four layers stacked on top of each other, not as four separate skills you need to master at once. One more piece of context before we wrap up. Where does analytics actually sit in this business? The marketing team runs campaigns and generates raw performance data. The analytics function, whether that's a dedicated team or a hat you wear alongside other responsibilities, cleans, models, and interprets that data. And leadership uses those insights to allocate budget and decide on the strategy. If you are watching this series, there is a good chance you sit in that middle box or you are preparing to. Understanding that flow helps you see why the metrics you choose to report upward matter so much. Let's name the trap directly. Vanity metrics. A vanity metric looks impressive but doesn't connect to business outcomes. On one side, you have total followers, total page views, total impressions, app downloads without any measure of activation. These numbers go up, and to the right, they feel good to report, but they don't tell you whether the business is actually growing or not. On the other side, conversion rate, cost per acquisition, retention, and repeat purchase rate or revenue per campaign. These are harder to make look flattering in every quarter, but they are the ones that actually matter. The skill isn't avoiding vanity metrics entirely. Sometimes they are useful diagnostics. The skill is knowing which category a number belongs to before you build a decision around it. Here is a short before and after that shows what's at stake. Before, a mid-sized direct-to-consumer brand reported success using follower growth and impressions. Budget flowed to whichever channel showed the biggest reach numbers. The result, ad spend increased 22% while revenue stayed essentially flat. After, the team switched to tracking customer acquisition cost and return on ad spend per channel, and then reallocated budget away from high reach, low conversion placements. The result, the same spend but revenue increased 18% in a single quarter. Same budget, same team, different metrics. That's the entire value proposition of this series in one example. Let's bring it together. 4 things to carry forward from this video. Marketing analytics turns raw campaign data into decisions. Measure, analyze, optimize. Not all metrics are equal. Distinguish vanity metrics from the actionable ones tied to the revenue. Correlation is not causation. Control testing is how you prove impact, not just observe it. And analytics is a mindset as much as a tool set. Ask why, trust your data, and demand evidence before you act. In topic 2, we go deep on the marketing funnel, the awareness to retention framework that almost every conversion metric in this field is built around. We will calculate conversion rates at each funnel stage and learn how to spot exactly where customers are dropping off and why. Thanks for watching this first installment of Marketing Analytics for Professionals. If this gave you a clearer sense of how to separate signal from noise in your reporting, subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in topic 2. Thank you. Have a nice day.